This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
So let us get together again for another hour of Journeys, Chronicles of our Asian Century. And we start with our people and places. In our previous episode, we were introducing the celebrity, we were celebrating the celebrity status of one of our Filipino compatriots in China. And this is, of course, Jimi Flor Cruz, who was among those, a dozen or so, who got stuck in China during the declaration of martial law, stayed there for over 35 years or more. And like Chito Santormana, now the ambassador of the Philippines in Beijing, he has become an adept in Chinese culture and part of the Chinese community. Just recently, Jimi Flor Cruz was celebrated by the BeiDa, or Peking University. And this is a report from China Radio International telling us that Jimi Flor Cruz was among the 4 special guests for the celebration of Peking University, representing the decade of the 70s, I think. So each decade is represented, and Jimi Flor Cruz was asked to sing in that celebration. And so that is another Filipino in China enjoying a celebrity status in one of the, if not the most prestigious educational institution in China. In fact, many of the leadership of China comes from Peking University, or in Chinese, BeiDa. The other is Tsinghua University. Okay, and the second, of course, which is the title of our segment now, is the Media Forum, where our guest, Mr. Butch Valdes, with us right now, and yours truly, and among others, George Siy, business leader and honorary or emeritus chairman of Anvil, the Young Chinoy Business Association. We had former diplomat and book author and soon to be a media personality in the Philippines, Paglinawan, professor of ethics of international relations and former PMA, Philippine Military Academy instructor, Celso, Cainglet, columnist Rod Kapunan, and maybe I forgot 1 or 2, but we'll have more of them. But essentially, this is the gathering of many of our Filipino academics and intelligentsia members who see the wisdom of the Duterte-China engagement and the projects, and came together to reiterate the wisdom of this campaign. And we'll have Butch Valdes elaborate on very important aspects of this in our Philippine-China focus segment later on. But this was my intro in the Kamuning Bakery Cafe Media Forum. Can we roll that? Our concern, and I'm going to time myself for 3 minutes, in the Philippine BRICS Strategic Studies, is that there is a tremendous effort by some forces and elements to distract our country and to derail our country from the projects and financial engagement with China and other countries towards the golden age of infrastructure and thus the golden age of agro-industrial development. The Philippines, we believe, and this is contained in our two other papers here, should not miss the boat of the One Belt, One Road, or the New Silk Road that is called, or the new official name, BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, led by China but joined by at least 48 other countries, 100, Butch Valdes will clarify the details of OBOR. That's his assignment today. Now, the efforts to distract us range from number one, the faulty information that we've been getting from some media elements, particularly this campaign that lasted for around 3 weeks, projecting the scaremongering that Philippines will result in or will lead. The Philippines will be led into bondage, into financial slavery with this engagement with China and the $25 billion aid, grants, and projects, infrastructure projects, and loans. We show in our first paper entitled Philippines, Duterte and China Build Economic Freedom, that this is not the case. This underscore has been circulating this idea that the interest rates will be 10% and so on. This is not true, and our evidence is the latest project of China and Indonesia, the Jakarta to Bandung rail, which is $5.3 billion. The interest rates are described here in one of the segments of the first article here. Is 2% the dollar component, which consists of, I think, around 60%, and the rest will be 3.5% yuan component of the loan for the Jakarta to Bandung rail project, a total of $5.3 billion project. So this is the template, and Butch will also explain later that different kinds of loans involved in these, and these are, of course, eventually there may be commercial loans, and that's going to be negotiated based on commercial basis. So underscore, we in our investigation have discovered is a U.S. military consultant and has been engaged with many U.S. military projects. He is an associate of Booz Allen and Hamilton, which the Bloomberg has described as the most profitable private spy agencies. Almost all its contracts are with the U.S. government. So I think we want to alert the people, this nation, that of course it is to the interest of the U.S. to keep the Philippines chained in poverty and underdevelopment, which has been the case for the past 100 years of Philippine history. And I think President Duterte is now breaking out of that mode and will be establishing economic freedom, the structures for economic freedom for the country. The second way, the elements that are trying to drag and tie down the Philippines to the old situation of underdevelopment is to bring us continuously back to the litigious or the legal quagmire of the disputes with China. And we debunked the statement of Solita Monsod among those who are trying to keep alive this litigious situation when she wrote that lawfare is not warfare. So we quoted, and this will be my last point since 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yes.
In the Inquirer of April 30, 2017, the column of Solito Monsod is entitled "Lawfare is not warfare," unquote. But we show that lawfare is part of hybrid warfare, today's new hybrid warfare. And we quote from Boston College International and Comparative Law Review from Joel P. Crackman, who says, Current military campaigns are not waged solely on the physical battlefield, but in multiple other arenas. One such arena is lawfare, legal activity that supports, undermines, or substitutes for other types of warfare. In today's law-rich environment, with an abundance of legal rules and legal fora, strategists must evaluate the full scope of possible legal argumentation. Lawfare can substitute for warfare, where it provides a means to compel specified behavior with fewer costs than kinetic warfare, or even in cases where kinetic warfare could be ineffective. As a result, lawfare can be strategically integrated into military command structures to bring about desired outcomes. So put this together with the activities of people like Underscore and their local counterparts. We know, and we even believe that the current affairs in Marawi City that is disrupting and distracting the president and the entire nation is possibly part of this hybrid warfare. Well, thank you, Butch, for clarifying that there are over 100. How many exactly participated in the One Belt, One Road Summit?
Well, the ones that officially had been represented in the Beijing summit of the One Belt, One Road was 129 different countries, not including yet the institutions that were there. Actually, IMF was represented there and several other institutions. However, in terms of countries being represented, 129. So that makes it 130, including China. I don't have all of the list of all the countries that have been represented there, but very significant, of course, is the participation of the United States of America, which was key in making sure that this thing has a global impact. Anything that the United States participates in, of course, will have a global impact. And of course, the guest speaker at that time in this whole affair was President Putin, a close ally of President Xi Jinping of China.
Okay, Butch, we'll continue with that in the next segment and the third final segment. Okay, we have to take this break.